All right, let's go take the wagon for a ride. Uh-oh. So, I'll go ahead and explain what's going on. All right, so I sold the Civic, and let me tell you why. So the Civic was having fuel issues again. MPFI swap, did all that stuff. Ran great about a week, and then it fell on its face again. Wide open throttle would just die. So I decided, fuel filter's probably clogged. More than clogged. Nothing but rust came out. I'm talking chunks upon chunks of rust. So I started pricing fuel tanks, fuel cells, running a straight hard line, one single line instead of multiples. AEM out of tank fuel pump, direct inline fuel pump, inline fuel filters, all that stuff. And the wagon would have sat. It would have sat for a long time for me to be able to get all that stuff ready to go and available and install and everything else. And I would have missed another car season. So I decided to sell it. Sold it to a guy in North Carolina. He already had, mechanic lined up to fix everything wrong with it. And I thought that would be a better option instead of letting the car sit for months. Which to me was a much better option for the car. The car already sat for years at the barn I picked it up from. Then it sat for a year with me, and then it's just been sitting, right at the 2-year mark, and I've only put 900 miles on it because it's just been sitting because it doesn't run. So I sold it, and then my awesome wife helped me out, and well, let's take a look. So here is the new car, 01 525i Sport Wagon. The interior on this thing is immaculate, almost, especially for a 20-year-old BMW. Came with M5 wheels, which are staggered from factory. They're 10 or 10 and a half in the rear, with a nice, awesome lip, about a 9-inch up front. And yes, this will be the new autocross car. And yes, I'm already installing an intake on it. I'm not going to show you how. It's pretty simple. You just undo from there and just boom, boom. Which I only paid like $5 because the only thing I did buy was that. I had this just laying around. And they call it a stage 1 intake in the European world. But yeah, let's check out the interior on it real quick. It comes with the sunshades for the back. Still need to clean the interior a little bit more, but I mean, that's it. 20-year-old BMW, and that is the only major interior malfunction for the leather seats. That's it. That's it. The sunshades. It's got 170 miles. I'll put it on it already. 159, 261. I bought it with 159 almost exactly. So I've been driving it. Driving to work every day. Typical BMW stuff. It's got cracks here, which is awesome. CD player right there. And it's got a crack here. This is from this sitting on it. I don't know how, but it did. Yeah, this car I love this car. It's awesome. It's slow. It's not fast. It makes like 192 at the crank from factory 20 years ago. So it probably makes like 160 to the wheels because it's got this slush box automatic, which I don't mind the automatic. Honestly, I never thought I would actually say this, but it's actually enjoyable to drive it. But I mean, this thing it's pretty neat. I love it. It has like all these little hidden compartments and stuff like that. Like here's that one's sticky. That right there. You know, like I said, this 20-year-old BMW. Most of these are missing the vents. This is missing or cracked completely. You know, it does have fog lights. The fog lights aren't there. The harness and everything's there, but you know, everything else is. I mean, the sunroof even works. It's fully operational. It has an auto dimming mirror, which is awesome. Kind of is at nighttime because you can't tell if a cop's coming up behind you because everything just looks like plain headlights. It's got the blue tinted mirrors, which help with, you know, assholes with high beams behind you. I mean, this car it's wonderful. So, no regrets on the wagon, in a way, but at the same time, I know it went to a good home. The guy's already looking for extra cars, you know, for parts cars and stuff like that. I mean, the guy has money to put into the car more than I had, and yeah, so sold it and bought this. And people are like, well, you could just put the money. No, because my wife, she was tired of the wagon. I was getting kind of tired of the wagon. I was breaking down to where I never enjoyed the car ever. You know, I took it out like twice, 2-3 times maybe to a car meet, and that's it. That's all. That's it. Like that's all I ever really got driven. Besides like going to work or, you know, stuff like that. So, but I like this car. This car's pretty awesome. It's faster than the wagon. It handles 10 times better than the wagon did. Yeah, I mean, these fat wheels on it really help with this car. Sorry, I'm over here bouncing you. I mean, AC still works in this car. Heated seats still work. Heat works. Radio works. All the speakers work. None of them are blown. And I picked it up for nothing. And I went to VIR, as y'all saw in my last video. I talked to so many BMW people there, and they said this car is stupid hard to find. I showed them pictures of it. They said there's no way I paid the price I paid for it. If I did, I robbed this man, pretty much. I held him at gunpoint and took the car because I picked it up for that good of a price. And like I said, thanks to my awesome wife. She helped me get it with the money that I sold the wagon for. She sold something that she really dearly cared about to help me buy this. So I am indebted to her because it shows how much she really loves me to help me get this. So, yeah, that'll be it for this. I'm going to install this little short ram, stage 1 intake. And that will probably be about it for this video. I mean, there's more to come. Like I said, I'm going to autocross this car. I mean, it does have, you know, the bump shifter on it. So, I mean, it's going to get autocrossed. This set of headers, I'm going to, how to word this without the EPA coming after me. Free flow the catalytic converters. Take out the resonator, which is like a giant X in the exhaust. It's ridiculous looking. And a MagnaFlow or Flowmaster muffler, something like that. Because this BMW exhaust, it flows great when you take out the restrictions. It's a pretty beefy, like, size exhaust as is, so I'm not going to really upgrade it. So I mean, it's going to cost maybe like $200 to, had the muffler welded on, have another piece of pipe welded in where the resonator was, and free flowing the cats. Well, that's pretty much free. So yeah, headers, which are going to get ceramic coated, not ceramic coated, ceramic, yeah. Yeah, ceramic coated. I think that's what it's called. And we get heat wrapped. And also, maybe this hood, like it's up right now, but when I was there at VIR, they said to vent the hood pretty much here and here. No, nowhere near the intake since it's going to be open, but somewhere in here and over in here, because that's where the exhaust sits. That will help with heat, because these cars run like 215, I think, heat wise. So yeah, 215, that helps bring down the temperatures dramatically, especially when you let the exhaust from the heat from the exhaust escape, bring down engine temps dramatically, they say. It helps a lot. So, because these cars are famous for the radiator hoses popping off, because it just gets so high in pressure and hot, it just pops them off. But yeah, the car's going to get autocross, H&R springs, probably a cob tuner, access port, stuff like that. But there is an event coming up near me right down the road in August. So the car will be, hopefully, at least have springs on it by then. Maybe the resonator delete it. Maybe the muffler delete it by that point too. Hopefully, I'm hoping. So, but yeah, that's the future plans for this car, and that's what I'm gonna do to this car. So if you want to follow along for this adventure, subscribe.